Okay, this is IJ Thomas here, and I am going to teach on pie charts for IELTS. IELTS task 1 academic gets a lot of pie charts, and this is the question. If you can read it on the screen. One quick tip: if you want to improve your language fluency, read the sentences aloud. It will help you to grow in your fluency. But the pie graph show below show the result of a survey of children's activities. The first graph shows the cultural and leisure activities that boys participate in, whereas the second graph shows the activities in which the girls participate. If you notice these questions, the task is always the same. You have to first of all summarize, you have to select and report the main features and make comparisons. So four things: summarize, select, report main features, and make comparisons where relevant. Minimum 150 words, so you should be aiming for more than that. By around 160, 170 will be nice. If you are using paper based test, write 7 sentences per line on your answer sheet, and you should be easily able to cross the word limit. Leave a paragraph between leave a sorry a line between paragraphs. Now I have just shown how to make an introduction. When you give an introduction, you need to bring the units in it and tell exactly what you see here in a way wherein you're not copying words straight from the question. So if you have pie chart, I have made it the two pie chart illustrations. The question says show, I made it display. And what does it display? The findings. In what unit is this, my friend here?
in percentages.
Percentages. And the question had the word a result of a survey. So I use survey by the percentage, the findings of a survey of the cultural and leisure hobbies. You know what are hobbies, right?
Mhm.
So that's what. See, they made cultural and leisure activities. You need to use synonymous language because you're not taking exact words from here. You're showing that you know the language. This is a test of English. So you're showing activities became hobbies. Popular among boys and girls. What did I use for boys and girls?
Male and female children.
Yes, so use this in your exam. When you see children, if they are putting both genders, you can say genders, and boys and girls became male and female children. Now, very important, coming to the overall statement, you need to not just focus on what is happening in one area or who's doing more or less. You have to take a bird's eye view, looking at it from a broad perspective. Now, read my overall statement and then you'll understand why I wrote it like this. Can you read this?
Yes. Overall, males show an uneven distribution of interests toward certain activities with computer games most preferred and reading the list, while girls in contrast exhibit a balanced preference towards all activities with dancing as the top choice. Also notable is that certain hobbies were mutually exclusive to each gender.
Very good. Thank you. So now maybe it is tough, but I am showing you the way you can write like this, which would get you an easy 7 band. But if you notice, when you're saying an overall here, some activities boys are doing are more, some are less. Yeah, and this is very thin. But if you look at the girls' performance, they are kind of evenly balanced. They're not exactly the same, but they're evenly balanced. So that's why I'm saying overall the males show an uneven distribution of interests towards certain activities. You notice that? Here it is so thin, here
Mhm.
it is a little thick, here it is too wide, right? This is almost there, but here it is almost kind of evenly scattered, right? It is not. See this how thin it is, there's nothing like that here.
Mhm.
So that's why you're saying uneven distribution. So what I'm teaching you is, I don't think this particular map graph would come, but if you have a pattern like this, think of what these words are: uneven distribution, right? This is a collocation, and they will give you very high marks towards certain activities. And then you're saying how computer games the most and reading the least. While, when I'm saying while, I'm using a connecting word and I'm showing the contrast. So see, the task wants you to give contrast, so I'm giving a contrast. So boys, uneven distribution; girls, a balanced preference towards all activities with dancing as the top choice. See? And what is the least? But there's no least. I'm not putting
Yes.
the least because they're not so significantly different. Otherwise, we'll keep writing too much in the overall. And one more thing I noted was, can you read this? Can you read this, please? Hello. I was showing you this, which is important, which says also notable is that certain hobbies were mutually exclusive to each gender. See, if you this is something you should note when you're writing a report. You should also look for what are things one group is doing which the others are not doing. What is that one group is doing which the others are not doing? Please
Like
answer.
reading.
Reading, both are doing reading, right?
Okay. Skateboarding,
Skateboarding, very good.
netball,
Netball, very good. Other
then
boys,
basketball. Oh,
basketball.
only for the boys?
No, for that's what I'm saying. So if you see some activities boys are doing which the girls are not doing, there are
Correct.
other activities which the girls are doing which the boys are
Like,
not
yeah.
doing. Now, when
Mm-hmm.
you should look for these patterns. These are the things that will make your score like very high. That's why I said mutually exclusive. Learn this word, mutually exclusive. Do you know mutually exclusive? Mutually exclusive. Like what one person is doing, the other is not. So that's
Yeah.
mutually different.
Okay.
So when you're basically looking for an overall statement, you should have a bird's eye view. Maybe you should just go back, lean
Mm-hmm.
back and look at the graph, see what is happening, so that when you're too close looking only who's high, who's low, then you're missing out some very important details which could have boosted your score.
Okay.
So learn this word mutually exclusive and see if that happening. Now that you have given an introduction and the overall, you will begin by going to the data. Better to see, if you want greater scores, it's best to compare both rather than saying what boys did in one paragraph and what girls did in the other paragraph. Because the task wants you to make comparisons where relevant. The more you compare, the higher your score. That's why if you see, I compared between activities. I didn't compare on this gender did this and this gender did this. I would comparing between activities will get you more scores. Can you read from here?
Yeah. Scrutinizing the data closer.
Mhm.
Computer games is the activity of choice for most boys at 34%.
Okay, stop. Now this is how you should think. Okay, when you say, you can say top, you can say it is the most preferred activity, you can say activity of choice.
Activity of choice.
So once you do that, then you should bring the data here at
Mm-hmm.
34%.
Okay.
Okay, then you are talking,
Contrastingly,
yeah, you're talking about computer games. Now contrastingly, start, continue.
Only about half that figures of girls play computer games,
Hmm.
with most opting for dancing instead, 27%, followed by reading at 21%.
Excellent. So this is how I hope you will get it, and this will be something very useful. So when you're talking about computer games here, you said
Mhm,
that the boys took it highest, but now we are comparing what happened. See, 34 and 16.
mhm.
I could have said girls were only 16, but I want the examiner to see that I have some language. So 34 and 16, I see there is a connection, which is it's that about half that figure. Why didn't I say half that figure? Why I said about half that figure?
Because that 16,
Hmm.
like the boys played double times games instead of
Yeah,
girls.
what I was looking for in the answer was 34 half is not 16, it's 17.
Yeah, but just near about.
Yeah, that's why I put about half that figure. So remember
Mhm,
when you're talking about relationships between figures, when you're using
mhm.
half or double, you can also make it about if it's not exactly the half or
Correct.
yeah.
Yes.
So only about half that figure play computer games. In fact, now I'm seeing it closer instead of there's already computer games mentioned here, so I could have replaced it with you can say such or these with these, right?
Mm,
Play these. Conversing only half that figure. Play these with most opting. Now I'm saying what girls are most going for dancing instead. See
mm.
at 27%. Now I'm showing you how to present data. So you look for 1, 2, and 3, followed by after dancing, what came?
Reading, 21%.
Reading, 21%. So now I talked about dancing, I ended up at reading, and I presented that for girls, right? The latter hobby. What does latter mean?
Like next,
The one that came last is
correct.
latter. So what came
Reading,
reading. So now that I talked about the reading for girls, I'm now talking about the reading for boys.
boys.
So the latter hobby, contrastingly. See, now there is one contrastingly here, there is the same contrastingly here. So how can I
Mhm.
change this?
Like, uh,
You can use in contrast.
okay.
You understand? This is
Yeah,
how you show the examiner you have language skills, you have lexical resources. The latter hobby, in contrast, is the least popular. For whom was it the least popular?
boys.
For boys. Excellent, you're very perceptive. You see how to write at just
Yes.
2 percentage boys, sorry, points. Now, this is also very important. Look out for these words, right?
Hmm.
Look out for these words like identically. What does identically mean?
Like both doing the same thing.
Exactly the same. So when you're looking for data,
Exactly. Hmm.
if you see
Exactly the same.
two data points which are the same, even in anything, it could be the bar graph, it could be the line graph. If both are the same, you can use identically and you will get a good score. So what did
Hmm.
I say about identically? Can you read it? Sorry. Yeah, identically. Can you read?
Yeah, identically, both girls and boys equally enjoy listening to music at 10%.
Yeah. See? So
Hmm.
hopefully whenever a chart comes, you will look at what is identically, what is double. So we were talking about music. Here it is 10. You saw that? Here
Yes.
it is 10. So we put identically. Get it?
Yeah.
Okay. Next. So now we finished most of the arts related activities. See how I've segregated the sentences: computers, dance, singing, reading. All I brought it in one paragraph. The next paragraph focuses on what?
Some sports based
Only sports, right? That's what it is. So now continue.
some some sports based interests were exclusive to each gender, with more males liking basketball 26%, soccer 17, and skateboarding 11% in
In
that
that
order.
order. So I'm saying first, second, third. Instead of saying they like basketball first, soccer second, I'm saying
Mhm.
in that order.
Okay.
Then next,
Girls did not choose these sports at all, instead opting for netball 15% and gymnastics 11%.
excellent. You see that? So this is a report, it doesn't need a conclusion. And you are, remember, when you're writing this, you may have 15 minutes to write this, 1 5, and you have to write it quick. And then you'll have some time to check, 5 minutes to check. But you have to write this fast, so you cannot keep writing too much about this. So you have to be cut and dry, yet very engaging to read. The idea of writing a report is a person, when they read your report, this picture should come to their mind without they having to look at it.
Okay.
It should just emerge. They, oh, this thing makes real good sense. I don't have to look at the graph and understand it for myself. I can just read this report and give all the information. Are you clear?
Yes.
Now we will do this practice and let's see, and I will correct it for you, and we will continue with the class.